I'm guessing you, like me, watch the ESPYs, right? And I love the ESPYs, but frankly speaking, I could have done without the so-called jokes that were provided by Shane Gillis, the host. Um, and look, everybody knows if you want a cheap laugh, you go for some hot button issue or some racist blast because you think that, oh, you're being dangerous and, oh, people are going to laugh at this. And what you're going to get is, well, what Shane Gillis got. A lot of people in the audience going and not responding at all. Or if they laughed uncomfortably. Like, gee, this isn't funny. Elements of it are. I'm going to laugh at that. But then, wait a minute, I'm laughing. Why am I laughing? Because it's stupid. That's not the kind of response you want when you're telling a joke. But it is the ultimate expression, what Shane Gillis did, of the rant. Hey, I have no talent. I'm a lousy comedian. So let me just go for these cheap laughs, you know? Let me go for this angle where I make you uncomfortable. And it's okay because the president of the United States would think it's funny, and presumably his base would think it's funny. So, yeah, we do that. That's what's happening. But it comes at a time when America has never been more diverse in not just ways having to do with the color of skin, but thought and all kinds of different ways of, well, even measuring science. Okay. It's a beautiful time to be alive from a standpoint of scientific research and all that goes with that. It's also a beautiful time to be alive if you are whatever you are: Jewish, Hispanic, African American, Afro Latino, Afro Asian, whatever, European Asian. It's a beautiful time to be alive because the realization is finally upon us that we're all incredibly diverse and that there's no one family history that's entirely one thing. We're all mixed up with somebody else. The people who don't realize that are the people who simply don't want to express the idea that they're intelligent, or maybe that all of this is just too much for them, you know? But the one thing I like about the channel that I built is people who are commonly attracted to what we write, okay? Not you, can meet, whatever you call yourself, but people who are commonly attracted to my content are truly intelligent. The jokes were stupid, okay? The jokes were stupid. The jokes were racist, and the jokes were not funny. I didn't think the Caitlin Clark blast was funny at all. Why? Because it's not true. Um, for one thing, the WNBA knows that Caitlin Clark and Angel Weiss really don't have any issue with each other. Everybody knows that Caitlin Clark is the best three-point shooter coming out of college into pro women's basketball in history. That is undisputed. Everyone knows she's one of the best players, and she's brought a lot of money to the NBA. No one wants to mess that up. But they also know that people like some of you out there like to see these skirmishes between women of different colors because you're stupid enough to think that there's a real issue there when really it's not. It's just done for ratings and money because of people like you out there who are just really stupid. And that's a fact. You're being played. You're simply being played again and again and again. They had Shane out there to play because they knew that he was going to get social media buzz by telling his stupid jokes. They were not funny. They did it to cause buzz in the same way that Will Smith, hear me out, that Will Smith slapped um, uh, Chris, um, uh, Chris during the Academy Awards, and that, if you hey, that got a lot of ratings for the Academy Awards. That lasted for what, the next 2 or 3 years, and uh, It's only subsiding now, mainly because the movies that won the Oscars were were movies that a lot of people didn't see, and that's not a formula for Academy success. You have to go back to the rule. Chris Rock, thanks. You have to go back to the rule of, well, have 10 movies. Make sure you include a blockbuster, like the year that 2008 when Iron Man, 2009 when Iron Man was released in 2008, 2009 Oscars, outstanding ratings because they got the blockbusters. Okay, right. Nobody pays attention to it, so they had to go and do this controversy. You want another example of a made-up controversy? I'll take you all the way back to 2004. That was the Super Bowl. I was actually at that Super Bowl. That was in Houston, at what used to be what was called Energy Stadium, or it was now called Energy Stadium, and then had the other name for the Texan Stadium. But at any rate, I was on the 20-yard line. It was the comeback Patriots versus the Carolina Panthers. At halftime, I went over to see my friend who was on the 45-yard line. We're watching the halftime show featuring Janet Jackson and Justin Timberlake. And he turned around, he said, "Did you see that? He took her bra off." And I went back to Rachel and I went back to our hotel room. We didn't understand what was going on until the next morning. All right. The next morning we saw it. Oh my God. And that buzz just carried on for I don't know how long. And it came at a time, though, folks, that the Super Bowl was being questioned for its ratings potential, believe it or not. And so I believe that this was the NFL's way of saying, hey, you know what? We're still relevant. We're still relevant because that's something that can happen that will make you talk. Why do you think Kendrick Lamar was brought on? Everybody who planned that show knew it was going to happen. They got it. They know where the social media seat is with respect to rap and all the, dissing, diss tracks and all of this stuff. No one in history, listen to me, no one in major television history ever took advantage of that until the Super Bowl. Do you realize that? Until the last Super Bowl. No one ever done that before. It's controversy. We say what sex sells, right? Now today it's controversy sells. You got to be hip to that stuff. Because coming back to the ESPYs, Shane's jokes were not funny. And after a time, it was kind of like, okay, we get it. At least for me, it was kind of like, okay, I get it. I know what you're trying to do. It's not funny. Don't you have something else to pull out of your bag of tricks? And folks, he didn't have a bag of tricks. It got buzz, but it didn't get great buzz. And this whole idea of, well, okay, we know we're not supposed to use that joke. I mean, come on. That's old too. This is a trick today, folks, because we're in an environment where there's so much competition for your eyeballs, okay? All right, for your eyeballs, all right? There's so much contribution for your eyeballs that they'll tell that, and it wasn't funny, okay? You can, say what you want to, all right? But it wasn't funny. And if you can't think of a better joke than that, and it's funny that people who comment don't use their real names, right? That's typical. My point is, if you can't think of a better joke than that, then your sense of humor is really in the toilet. And my other question is to you, since your sense of humor is in the toilet, do you clean your hands? Just asking, okay? I will never shake your hand. In fact, don't ever shake anybody else's hand. In fact, don't even fist bump them. Clean your hands, okay? No, Tyler, I will not. Tyler, you're wrong. I do not enjoy the joke. I have the right to not enjoy the joke, just as you have the right to enjoy the joke. And by the way, what joke? The Caitlin Clark one? I didn't think it was funny at all. I didn't. Because when I think of the last skirmish she was in, I counted like 1, 2, 3, 4 white women who were there fighting with her against other white women. Note that, okay, against other white women, okay? Now, if we really wanted to call it by its common name, we would all be in a bunch of trouble. Okay, all right. But no one uses the term you know that term anymore. That has to do with feline skirmishes. You see how I slipped that in there? Feline skirmishes. Oh no 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 no. But you tell me. All right. Did the fight get buzz? Yes, it did. Tons of it. Was it based on some serious issues? To a degree, yeah, because Caleb Clark, let's get this out of the way, is treated very unfairly. All right, no question about it. Hey, look, I made a video about that coming to her defense and got pummeled. I don't care because it's wrong. So for me, I want this whole thing to like stop. I don't care how funny you think it is. I think it's ridiculous and it's immature. So you want to call me a boomer? I'll say, hey, call me Mr. Boomer, you know, with an exclamation point. Thank you. To which I will say, thank you very much. I don't like it. Be creative with your jokes, right? Okay? And just, admit that you like feline skirmishes. I mean, this stuff is absolutely wrong, okay? What I enjoyed about the ESPYs were what I always enjoy, the heartwarming stories about athletes. Like, I didn't know, uh, Bill Gates says, we're definitely a war for people's minds. I try to stay out of the gutter and lowbrow entertainment, which is what comics are part. Yeah, thank you. Exactly. That's all I'm saying, And Tyler says he was extremely creative. You're just a snowflake. Why was he amazing, Tyler? You can't tell me. I can tell you they weren't funny. I just did. Don't want me to say it again? Let me clear my throat. They weren't funny. Okay? They weren't funny. Okay? They weren't funny. Okay, the only place, I can't even give you the push, I can't even get the tush push thing. Because again, it's kind of like, I'm going for the squirm, I'm going for the squirm. And I've never thought that jokes that made me squirm were funny. They just made me squirm. It's kind of like, oh, come on, dude, seriously? Can't you do better than that? My point is, anybody can do that. I can do it, you can do it. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's because, Tyler, you think you can deliver that form of a joke. I could do better, okay? Because I'm not one who likes feline skirmishes, all right? I don't even like to engineer feline skirmishes, okay? Now, female bodybuilding's a different story. They are sexy, done the right way. So my point is that you have to understand what that means. You also understand the bigger picture. And see, as long as you, Tyler, respond, well, I like that, it means that you are perfect fodder for being fooled. Okay, if you get fooled by that, hey, you're going to get fooled by pretty much any other sensational thing that happens on television, as opposed to saying, wait a minute, like I did in 2004, okay? Derwin says it was so funny. Why was it funny? See, it's one thing to say that it was funny, but I'm telling you why it wasn't funny, and you're not telling me why you think it's funny. Okay? All right? Which means you really haven't thought it through. Which means maybe you're annoyed that I'm making you think about it. Who knows? I don't know. All right? Because it makes fun of social commentary. Explain that. Because I would argue that it doesn't. It makes fun of social commentary. To make fun of social commentary means that you're making fun of something that was said, not something that was done. Okay? All right? Yeah, Deb, I mean, I wish you could come on with another camera, right? And you can actually say it, okay? No problem. Hey, man, please do. I mean, I'm sorry I don't have this, maybe StreamYard is better where I could say, hey, look, do a camera, maybe like a blog talk radio where you call in or something like it. Ooh. Now that would be a great idea. If I could figure out a way to engineer, hey, thanks, appreciate yours too. I appreciate your opinion too. But if I could figure out a way to engineer something where you could actually your audio in, or even better, show your face, right? So we're having this conversation here, and in this, because I would have to use StreamYard to engineer that, which I might give some thought to. This is I'm using the native YouTube app, right? And the native YouTube app doesn't have that capability. Um, I have to give that one some engineering thought. Tyler says Shane's joke about Travis Hunter being daddy bailed wasn't funny to you. I even daddy balled. No, I don't even know what that means. Um, can you quickly go over your opinions? Yeah, sure. Um, I I don't. I thought I just did. I gave you a very general. My overarching view is first of all, I don't do well. Oh, that's so Zane. Hey, well, Zane, welcome. But Zane, to answer your question, I don't do well with jokes based on race. I don't do well with jokes based on anything that is knowingly nasty. Um, there you go. Okay, I don't. I mean, I'm more of a, and I don't think this is generational either. I was gonna say maybe it's my generation, but it's not, because when I was younger, there was the same dynamic. I mean, like when I was 40 years younger, it was the same dynamic. Egad, did I say that? Yeah. Uh, Devin says SB's set worked because it was risky, subversive. That's what I'm saying. Risky, think about that. It was risky. Risky because he went for race. And that's what I'm talking about. That's not funny to me. That's not, there. Um, if you want to say politically risky, would you consider yourself sensitive to racial jokes? Yeah, I am. Because I believe that my first thought is here, you have to understand my background, okay? When I was 6 years old, we lived in Chicago, and I was born in 62. So in 68, there was a family that lived next to us, Polish family. Henry became my friend. Um, and we would talk about mostly cartoons and games, the things that 6 year olds talk about. Not much, but because I didn't see him much. But when we did, we had a good conversation. Now, sometimes um, there were kids in the neighborhood who didn't like him because he was white, they were black. And I never had a problem with him. And I was 6. Um, and I defended him because someone had a Polish joke, and I said, that's not funny. Remember, we were 6. You would think, where are they getting their Polish jokes from? All right. We were 6 years old. So I was 6 years old and didn't like that. Again, I was 6 years old and didn't like that. I am now just days from being 63. I'd say 63 August 4th. So the way I was wired then has stayed with me to present day. And again, I was a little boy. I don't like that. I don't like jokes like that. Tyler said, from my view, you're playing a victim role and can't sit back and attend a but good joke. Tyler, you said it's neither a personal attack toward my race, but let me explain why I think it's stupid. And I say it just like that. First of all, there's only one race, the human race. Okay? The human race. The term race, okay, wasn't is something that's used because people don't want to admit that we're just really breeds. The more accurate term is breeds of people. Okay? Okay? No, I'm not. Okay? Yeah, there are differences of humor. I get that. I get that. What Tyler doesn't understand, Tyler didn't hear me when I was talking about, I don't, okay, if Tyler said, see, Tyler says, oh, well, you're sensitive because your race, right? No, or my breed more accurately. So Tyler, how come I came to the defense of somebody who was Polish and I'm 6 years old? What were you doing when you were 6? Devin says it would be more accurate to say those jokes didn't align with your sense of humor due to your own trauma, but your rhetoric reflects a worldview where jokes about race are inherently unacceptable. That's right. I don't care who they're targeted to. Okay? I don't like to see people hurt. I don't like it. I remember It's at Skyline. And we had this guy who was taking over for one of our classes. And he says, interesting to me that the Brittany Hicks jokes is being censored. Yeah, I have to check in that I don't, let me write that down, okay? But anyway, if you take a look, actually, I have not, I heard, but I was thinking like, ooh, that doesn't sound right. And Curtis says, what specifically you say taking issue? Okay, I came in. Welcome. All right, here's my point though, all right? Let me go back to this situation at Skyline High School. I'm class of 80. In those days, you would get a substitute teacher. And because the substitute teacher didn't know, I'll get to that, Curtis. Because the substitute teacher didn't know who's black like me, but he didn't know the material. And it was our geometry course taught by Mr. Robbins. And so he started talking about race and race issues. And the way he put it was in, oh, gee, aren't those white folks so bad? Which really isn't teaching you anything. It's more like using your position of authority to upset kids who have nothing to do with the current social situation of the time. All right? I'll get, thanks, Zane, I'll get to that, okay? And two of the girls, I'll never forget, started crying. All right? And it really hurt to see that. That's me. And the simple fact that that's interesting. But the simple fact that I remember that to this day should tell you that, let me add it up. I don't like Polish jokes told against a kid who's 6 and I'm 6. I don't like it when, okay. Yeah, I am telling a life story. Because the person, here's the thing. I am telling my life story because someone said, why do you think the way that you do? Okay? And this is why. So tell me no, I'm not. This is how I choose to consider it. I think a lot of you are not taking this seriously enough. And I could go a step further and say that maybe it's a microcosm of why we're not able to figure out at the time we need to think about what's happening or our economic problems, we're not figuring out how to solve them when we really do know how to solve them. We're too busy being added at and being served, as President Obama used to call it, the okie doke. This is part of that. Shane didn't kill it, okay? Shane did not kill it, all right? Anytime you have part of the crowd doing this, no. We can argue that back and forth. Absolutely not, okay? Shane didn't kill it. Shane was not like, you don't know who's really funny? Ricky Gervais. Ricky Gervais killed it, okay? Because Ricky Gervais, if you ever saw the Golden Globes with Ricky Gervais, all right? He understood enough about what was going on in Hollywood to make my solution, Devin, is to get a guy who's like Ricky Gervais, all right? Because, or someone who knows the audience, who knows the culture, who can then talk about, well, okay, hey, SGA, how's, glad you got all that money, it's fantastic that you have that money. But, I mean, or something like that. Or Ron Artest was in the audience, okay? Did you notice? Shane could have said, hey, there's Ron Artest, or Meta World Peace. But maybe all of you in the audience are not so safe because that dude throws punches, okay? All right? No, that would have been funny. So you asked me what I think is funny, and I'm telling you that's what I think is funny. Shane didn't go on down to the granular level of personalities because that means, okay, that's what he didn't, I just told you. He went for racism rather than knowing intimately his audience, all right? If Ricky Gervais has racial comedy, he didn't use it at the Golden Globes, all right? And the Golden Globes is a similar situation, okay? Ricky Gervais really, really, really came off like, oh my Lord, all right? Ricky Gervais was deep. I mean, deep. About the stuff you read about tabloids, about personalities and everything, that's deep. And there's enough stuff out there about athletes and tabloids to really have a good go of it. I mean, heck, you could have made fun of anybody in there if you wanted to really be funny from that angle. All right, which has nothing to do with race. Nothing. Nothing. No. Nothing. Okay. Mm-mm. Don't like it. You can say he's talking whatever. I don't like it. I think it was low rent. I think it was unintelligent, and I was. Um, I could do better. Okay? Yes, I am a baby. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yeah, well, I'm funny at parties when the women are gorgeous. How about you? You needed it. See, there's something wrong with you. Cian Hayes says he loved it and you needed it. There's something wrong with you, man. If you needed that, you got some issues. All right? Do I find Dave Chappelle offensive? No, I don't. I don't. I don't. No, I don't. I find Dave Chappelle genius. Okay? Shane is not that. Okay? Because he speaks. What Shane does is he activates what I call Russian humor. Um, yeah, Russian humor. What I mean by that is simply this. In the 2016, or in the run up, I'm not crying. See me crying? Shane is negative 100. Negative. All right. Anyway, in the run up to the 2016 election, there was a company that was hired called Psy Research. Okay. And Psy pioneered social media seeding. And social media seeding to basically trick folks like you and get you into having, racial conversations and so on, all right? Why? Because it makes you, divides you, it feeds you what you want to hear. It feeds you what you want to hear, just like with Shane. And it results in conversations like this. Oh, he was funny. He wasn't over race. Now, guess who has a copy of that proposal that cost $2 million? I do. Project Rome, Campaign Intelligence and Influences Services Panel. Okay, proposal. All right. Okay. All right. April 2016, Psy. Okay. Are you getting the damn picture now? Have I got your attention? Will you wake the fuck up? Huh? Are you cognizant of what I just showed you? Do you get it? It has everything to do with what Shane would put out, and let alone why it would be aired today. Canva? Oh, what an idiotic thing. This fellow mistakes a proposal for a software service device online. Oh my God, that's hilarious. Okay? You need to wake the fuck up. I don't believe this. Some of you all out there have no idea what's going on. I would say that a lot of you have no idea what's going on or why or how you're contributing to it. That's why it's important to think. I'm glad you think I don't. Shane Gillis is not the man, and I have a pretty good idea. In fact, let me ask you a question. If I didn't have a good idea, why do you think I would stage this kind of conversation right now? Huh? You fools. You have no idea. I'm basically saying, yeah, okay? Well, I don't think they're funny. No, I am not borderline loony. I am loony. I am totally loony. I'm very proud of that. Okay. Okay. I'm borderline loony. Well, beyond that. In fact, I'm Mr. Looney to you. Thank you. At any rate, well, I'm funny to me. Blah. Okay. Nah, Gillis was awful. He bombed. He bombed. He bombed. He bombed. Bombed. What was said? What was said? What joke specifically? Well, the Caitlin Clark one, the tush push. Take your pick. Okay. It's not that I don't get it. Well, I covered the NFL. Look, I'm a credentialed NFL press guy. Give me a break. Okay. Yeah. I happen to think tush push is a great idea. All right. Okay. Eh. Shane Gillis is right for MAGA culture. That's about it. You want to look at the Brittany Hicks thing, right? Hold on a second. Your problem is you can't take a joke. We're too sensitive for the subject. Oh boy. Let's see here. Anyway, hold on a second. Let me get that going. All right. So let's see here. Brittany, James Harden. Let's go back here. Let's see here. Kareem, Epstein and Maxwell, James Harden, Brit, B-R-T, Brittany official. Some of them, hey, look, some of these go by so fast, all right, and here's the thing. If you want to make sure that I see what you're saying, use the super chat. It's like $2, okay? And then I can read it, because what's going on is these things are flying by. So, okay. Here is the video. Okay, can you address my comment on your based on your, not my racial bias? You mean my dislike for racial jokes, right? Well, you're already giving, actually, Joy, you're already giving money, so you're watching. Sorry. So, the Me Too moment is, no, the Me Too movement is over. Okay. They are not flying by, bro. They are flying by. Okay. Oh well. Okay. I just want money. So, thank you. That's Mr. Corny to you. Buffer says the other thing to take into consideration is Shane Gillis' wild statement. Do you think race is real? It's a social construct. That's it. The real fact of the matter is they're all different. We're all breeds. That's Mr. Clown to you. But at any rate, the real simple fact of the matter is we're all breeds. We're different breeds of people, and there's interbreeding. But the idea that we're all different races is stupid. We're one race, okay? So anybody who believes otherwise is just bonehead anyway. So it's like whatever. Okay. So at any rate, let's see here. Well, you're a clown to not understand what I'm saying too. We can all call each other clowns all day. You're a clown. You're a clown. That's the best you got. Give me a break. You're a clown. You're a clown. You're a clown, man. Okay, Brittany. Let's see here. Don't see that here. What you're talking about. And guess what? Let's see here. See if this goes. You might be wondering what I'm looking at, okay? Let's see here. Tony Khan ripped me off St. Douglas storyline. Okay. See, look at these. Well, okay. Oh, I see. Top 7 ESPY jokes. Okay, I will. I got you, Zane. Hold on a second. Top 7. Hold on a second. ESPY guy. Hold on a second. Let's see here. No results. Under latest. The Epstein joke. Okay. Comedian Shane Gillis just slammed Trump at the ESPYs for January 6th, and the ESPY follows after previously supporting him in 2024. This is worth, yeah, because he's MAGA. Let's see here. Okay. Did I think the one about the ESPYs was funny? I'll give him that one. Okay. I'll give him that one. All right. Let's see here. Let's see. Shane Gillis is great to host. I'm trying to find this top 7 Epstein bomb. There's a thought that, there is a thought that I think is fascinating. The thought is that it's possible. Hold on a second. This is one thing I gotta say. All right. All right. Where is it? Where is it? Okay. Where is it? Oh, where is it? Okay. You know who that is, right? Okay. Doesn't she look great? Yes, Alex Morgan. One of us interviewed her. That's right. Boom. Go Bears. Okay. She looks great. Really proud of Alex. She's come a long way. Just had to get that in for Alex. Go Alex. Let's see here. Type 7 on YouTube. Okay, Zayn. Okay, let me do it this way because I was typing it in Twitter and getting nowhere. So let me try it that way, which doesn't say much for screwy algorithm, does it? Anyway, let's see here. Shane Gillis, top 7. I am typing it. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Top 7 Singulis SB jokes. Okay, there. Must have deleted itself. Savage. Cool. Use the jokes about Shador. Let's see here. Okay, here. Okay. So, kids biting my log. What's going on is that content you're talking about. Okay. Now, the one about Belichick I did think was funny. Okay. Because my thought is this, you know what? More power to Bill Belichick. All right. And this is what I'm reading. Let me show you what I'm reading here. All right. This is the New York Post. Okay. So after making a Boogie joke about Boogie is what Bill Belichick, right. They read Very Horny Caterpillar. That's funny. Okay. That was funny. All right. That was funny. Okay. That was funny. Let's see here. Where else? Let's see here. Oh, about the divide. All right, Joe Rogan, whatever. Caitlin Clark. That's what I'm saying. It's like, there's all this MAGA stuff that's thrown in here, and I'm like, give me a break with this. Golly. All right. That's just pathetic. Do I have to be? Who is that? That's Jane Gillis and Grace Brizzo. Good for him. All right. She needs to lose some weight. Anyway, okay. Oh, I see that. Okay. Okay, your wife and a waiter, huh? The comedian was also impersonated Trump and made a joke about political fighting around supposed client list. I don't see the Britney thing. That didn't get mentioned there and what's taken out. I got to go back and look at that. Um, and this is the worst attempt of being a hater. Okay. And I've seen worse. At any rate, let's see here. And if you mean by, see, a classic hater is somebody that hates. I don't hate. All right. I don't hate. I make comments about what I don't like, but hate? No, I don't hate. That's ridiculous. So maybe that's what it is. I'm not a classic hater. Classic haters are stupid. Some of them are also killers. They get so much. They're a little cuckoo, right? Okay. I'm not a hater. That's ridiculous. I'm hating. Hey, Colin, you say I'm hating, but the other guy says I'm a lousy hater. I don't know which is true. Oh. Let's see here. My professor is older than you and knows how to manage technology better than you do. I sure hope so. Good for him. Hey, ask him if he knows about PHP programming. Okay. But do I care to know about anything about Shane Gillis? I'm not a fan. Okay. I'm not a fan. Okay, I'm not a fan. Okay. All right. Did I crack Alex Morgan? Gentlemen tell no tales. Thank you. Yes, my smile is deliberately creepy. Thank you. I'm the definition of hate? You mean like Hitler? That's interesting. That is the first time I've ever heard anyone compare me to Hitler. I don't know. Okay, no, look. I know I'm mentally unstable. I have no problem with that. Then why stop talking about stop? No, I won't. I won't. I won't stop. This man says he knows nothing of Shane Gillis, then starts a stream. I don't. I don't. I know what I heard I didn't like. Okay. I know what I heard I didn't like, and I didn't. Let's see here. Where are we here with this? Quantum mechanics isn't something you grasp. Quantum mechanics is something you know the calculations to. Sorry. At any rate, oh boy, let's see. Right here. Let's see here. My mask off at the park. Okay. Let's see here. Zane, I don't see it. Here's the. Oh, you know what? Yahoo Sports has them. Zane, if you're there, I found it. I believe I found it. Thank you, Pablo. I appreciate that. That's Mr. Walking LDU, by the way. You mean like The Walking Dead? Like that? Just saying, call yourself unstable doesn't. I don't care. I don't care. I've been in the public eye for 30 years. You think I care about this sort of thing? Just keep typing. You know? Did I find any of the jokes funny? I found the one about Bill Belichick funny. Yep. Yep. Well, no, why are you here? I don't know. Anyway, okay. Let's see here. The ESPYs are biggestly the Oscars? Nah. Now they said they're going to provide a list of. Okay, here we go. All right. Let's see here. Here's the opening monologue, but they give it to me in a video, but they don't write down the jokes. Hold on a second. All right. Donald Trump. Let's see. Let's see here. The way they got so many ads on this page on Yahoo Sports. I have to talk to Ryan about that. Ryan is Ryan Spoon. He is the president of Yahoo Sports and a friend of mine. In fact, you want to see an interesting video interview with Ryan Spoon when he was working for Widget Box, it's right here at Zenny62. At any rate, Ryan is a good guy. Let's see here. Simone Biles. Um, Now I like the one about Simone Biles. Okay. Let's see here. Let's see here. Aaron Rodgers, Shadur Sanders, Caitlin Clark. Um, Hold on. Let's see here. I don't know. I just found I haven't found anybody that has nailed Caitlin Clark plot properly. I haven't found anyone who's nailed Caitlin Clark properly. Okay, so let's see here. Shea Otani, Bill Belichick. I'm looking through these list of jokes. Jake Paul. Travis Hunter. Yeah, they did not list the the Britney one you're talking about. That's not listed as one of the top jokes. At least Yahoo. Okay. I'm sorry, Colin. It's here. You want me to show you? Here. No problem, Colin. Hold on a second. Can't seem to get that up there. Okay. As soon as I can, that would be a copyright claim, by the way. That's why I didn't play it. So, see that? See now, it settles in. That Caitlin Clark joke about funny was funny because it was accurate to real life. Well, that's my point, though. I believe that whole matter about Caitlin Clark and race is sad. It did start off with some very solidly racist issues, and then WNBA figured, hey, you know what? We can make some money off this, so let's just goosing it. All right. No, I'm not reading Yahoo Sports like it's the truth. I'm reading Yahoo Sports like I know the president of Yahoo Sports, which, by the way, I do. Sorry. Anyway, I'm also reading Yahoo Sports because I thought that Ryan would have the listing, which I didn't. I saw the listing, but he's got so many ads on his page that it literally makes it difficult to read. Okay. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm gonna have to send an email to Ryan about that one. Anyway, with Yahoo fake news, I'll let Ryan know you think that. But I don't read. See, Ryan is the president of Yahoo Sports. I don't read Yahoo for the news. I read Yahoo to see what Ryan Spoon is doing. There's a difference, a vast difference. Watch out because Ryan can wind up being the president of ESPN one day. Seriously. Okay, so where am I at here? Let me see something here. You know, that's for another time. I was going to do a quick diagnostic. Maybe not. Okay. What, a diagnostic? Okay. Hold on a second. Good. Okay, it's working. All right. I wish I could slow down these. All right. So, folks, it is 3:10 in the morning. So, I think we pretty much. Do I suffer from autism? Do you? I have a friend who's autistic. She is one of the first pioneer bloggers, and love seeing this after watching, saying, okay, yeah, I didn't think it was funny. Do I play Fortnite? Occasionally, but at any rate, let's see here. Oh, it's 18. No way, what? No way, what? At any rate, I wonder if there's anybody around here that has a brain. Unc said finally worth thinking. Okay, okay. Uh, ooh, is she 18? He said. I don't know. You gotta admit he's funny like Common. I get you're offended. I just didn't think it was funny. I'm not like, he should ought to be barred or anything. I just don't think he's funny. I just don't think he's funny. Okay? I think it's low rent. Yeah, sorry, I'm sorry. You guys are the one that are crying. Oh, he doesn't think he's funny. I'm so upset. That's how you guys. That's you. All right? You're the ones whining. That's why you're here. You're here to whine. Okay? I have not seen at all a truly intelligent repartee from the majority of you. I've seen name calling, name calling like that, okay? Name calling. I see insults that are the product of a 16-year-old, all right? I see whining like Pablo. Pablo whines, okay? But Pablo's whining is to then turn around and say that I'm whining, all right? It wasn't funny. It wasn't funny. Jokes based on race are not funny, okay? Jokes based on race are not funny. Give a reason? Because they're stupid, because they seek to insult. That's why. They're not even, it's not like when I was growing up, um, and the kind of humor that was out there wasn't, if it more, it was more about personalities and things that a person would do. It wasn't about race. Race is the province of the stupid person, okay? Race is the province of a stupid person. Racist jokes. If you have to tell those, you have something going on where you got an itch that needs to be scratched. That's a fact. Um, that's a fact. I don't. I watch the ESPYs. Okay, it's not the same as when I grew up. Actually, I was this way when I was 6 years old. All right. I think you need to get an eye exam. You call me Pablo, bro. What does it say then? It comes in blurry. Sorry. It may be if you. Okay. The print here is small, so it looks like Pablo. By the way, there's nothing wrong with having the name Pablo, but I can understand it if your name isn't that. No, I didn't. I wasn't a huge Richard Pryor fan. Yeah, I understood where the humor was coming from. I thought it was biting. I thought it was It's upsetting, but also I understood the times. You have to remember, I'm 63, August 4th. So unlike you, I remember what it was like back then. I lived back then. All right. You think Shane's guys like stupid humor. That's why you think Shane is funny. You like stupid humor. You like stupid humor based on race. You think that's being edgy. I think it's being stupid. That's why. That's why. That's a fact. You have the right to be that way. I have the right to be this way. That's a fact. You don't know when you're being played. I could show you a study put out by Psy. Yeah, comedy is subjective. Of course it is. Of course it is. That's the beauty of it. Look, comedy. Okay, does good comedy push the envelope of sensibility? Of course it does. Of course it does. But bad comedy can also push the envelope of sensibility and still be bad. And Shane's is bad. All right? Sorry, it just is. I mean, if you really wanted to get somebody really truly edgy that made you think, yeah, put Chappelle on. All right? I'm getting ratioed in my own chat. No, I'm making money from it. Why do I care? Look at the numbers. You say I'm getting ratioed. Thanks. Ratioed. Oh, brother. Keep talking. This is wonderful. It is Uncle Herb. Is that Herb or Herb or Herb? I'm just kidding. Um, look, that's my kind of humor. Uncle Herb. So Dave can racial humor? No, 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 not at all. I'll be more accurate about what I think. I don't think Dave Chappelle is entirely funny. I think Dave Chappelle is funny about the irony, like um, about certain situations. He's situationally funny, but I don't. I'm very consistent about race. All right. Kyle says, "Bro bombed at one too many open mics. Now look at him." Well, you said it for me. Shane bombed at open mics. He really bombed at this one because if you take a look at what the mainstream media is writing, it's not kind. Okay, it just isn't. The beauty of America is we all can have an opinion. I'm not saying don't state your opinion. I simply said I don't agree, and I don't. Sean says, "Bro would clear a room under 10 minutes. Would you care if I try for two?" Lighten up, boss. Who says I'm heavy? Oh, you're being played because you like divisive humor. You're being played because it's part of a messaging concept that was created to divide America way back in 2014 by Russian social media operatives. That is why I said that. And it's a fact. Okay. Hello. Knock, knock, McFly. You paying attention? Okay. No, I'm not going to lighten up. It's true. Maybe you should do some research yourself. Wake up. Wake up. Aiden, I'm not far down the rabbit hole. I create rabbit holes. All right. Russia, Russia, Russia. Yep. Ryan Upchurch. Ryan, are you any relation to Rick Upchurch, the famous Denver Broncos wide receiver who had the 67-yard kick return in Super Bowl 12? Just curious. Let's see here. I'm waiting for Rick. I'm waiting for Mr. Upchurch. Liberal jokes? I don't tell conservative jokes. I have a lot of conservative friends. Sorry. Um, go figure. But when I say conservative, I don't mean I don't mean the couch potato conservative. I mean truly intelligent conservative people. People understand that classical economics is based on the price system. They understand that being conservative is the maintenance of institutions, not screwing with the rule of law to do whatever you want to feel like doing. A lot of you out there have no idea what real conservative thinking is. You've been fooled. You think it has something to do with race. It doesn't. That's where you've all been fooled. You get fooled every single day, including right here, right now. You proved it, okay? You say that I'm being ratioed? Shh. You're being ratioed. You're ratioing yourself, okay? You have zero idea, all right? Zero idea how this world works, zero idea when you're being played, zero idea when you're being used. And a lot of people who are engineering these systems are laughing at you, and I feel bad for you. Very bad. Actually, that's a lie. I don't feel bad for you at all. Now, if you had a true problem that I could help with, different story, then I'll be at your beck and call in a minute. I take such issues seriously. Okay? Very seriously. So do you, Push. So you have to remember something. I do so to trigger. Okay? Jude, you're too stupid to know how to do that at all. I'm saying that just like that. Okay? You have no idea what you're talking about. All right? He's not the hottest. Are you? You're crying about me. I disagree with what you're saying and you're whining. Oh, you're so upset. You're triggered that I think that he's not good. Okay? All right? Yeah, well, you said it, Colin. keep writing. Yeah, I agree. This is hilarious. I'm having fun. I'm having a ton of fun. Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. Cha-ching, 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 cha-ching. Uh, I'm glad you think that, Colin. Ask me if I care. Let's see here. Let's see here. Ooh. Not bad. Let's see here. I don't see the problem with the joke. Explain MAGA divisive. It fits into MAGA divisive means simply that it fits into the current political strategy of dividing America through tools like television. Okay? That's why. That's why I said that. Okay? Let's see here. Let's see here. Well, Kyle, I think it's unfortunate that you would share your habits with us, don't you? All right. Okay. Let's see here. That. Cool. Wow. Let's see. If anything, like a comedy show like this, when we can laugh, it brings people closer together. Aiden, you're right. You know, because this has brought us closer together. Oh, this is wonderful. Okay. Where are we here? Okay. Interesting. Let's see here. Okay. Potential spam. That's potential spam. Good. Okay. Good. Oh, good. That was deleted. Good. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Yeah, report me for flaming you. Who did you flame here? Who did you flame here, Colin? Colin, someone coming. No one's complaining about you here, Colin. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not complaining about you. I'm not dying. I'm just fine. I don't like his humor. Okay, I'm sorry that you're upset. No, actually, I'm not. I don't like his humor. Okay, so there. So there. So there. What happened to the granny that owned the house? The family deserves an answer. Okay. You deserve an answer to nothing. What are we having here? Okay. What's going on here? Will Smith Oscar. What else? Patiently waiting for an intelligent take. You're upset, dog. I'm loving it. You're crying. Sorry you're crying. Hey, Colin, I'm actually flattered that you have nothing better to do with your life than to come to my channel and, keep typing things that are, contributing to the content of the site. Thank you so much. It's 3 a.m. Is that a song? Hey, Spaz, it's 3 a.m. Is that the start of a song? I'm wondering. Ew. No, this is beautiful stuff, you know? Colin, hey man, Colin deserves a medal. Colin, I own 60% of my stock. I might consider you for a cut if you keep it up. I'm 45 years old. Colin, I'm 63 years old. I'm very proud of it. August 4th, I'll be 63. Why am I Zinni 62? Because I was born in 1962. All right? Get it? Are you paying attention? I was born August 4th, 1962. I'm 62 now. I'm one of YouTube's first partners. All right? Okay? And I'm glad that upsets you, by the way. Keep writing, Colin. The check is not in the mail. Shane's show was 1 out of 10, and Carlos, sorry. You're the type not to be allowed to. I should hope I would never want to be with one. So anyway, what did you just write? Are you drunk? I think somebody's been drinking. Are you drunk commenting? Well, I'm glad you understand it's a company, Ryan. Thank you. I appreciate that, Curtis. Thank you. Too late for that. Sorry. At any rate, let's see here. Boy, I think this. No, it can't. No, it wasn't. Oh, that's cool. How you doing, Kings? Yeah. Uncle Ruckus. Oh, Uncle Ruckus. I like that one. All right. Oh, push. Does yours push? Well. My only critique of Chase Show was a stumble on an OJ joke because he knew the federals would throw poo. Yeah. Let's see here. Lee, you got it right. 24 confused people laughing at a very confused guy. Hey, I had no problem admitting that. Big deal. Anyway, let's see here. Let's see here. Where are we? My calculations tell me. Yes, perfect. Not bad. Well, hey, Colin disagrees with you. Okay, here. Yes, Boomer. Correct. That's Mr. Boomer to you. That's right. Billy Cannoli. I don't know who he is enough to say whether I like him or dislike his humor. Do you like Chris Rock? Okay. Let's see here. I wonder. You guys keep talking about comedians, right? Let me see something here. Top comedians right now. Okay. Searching. Okay. Based on various sources, I was wondering who the top comedians were. Number 1 is Kevin Hart. There's a whole list. Hey, Shane Gillis isn't even the top 5, which means that the ESPYs could not get any of the top 5 current stand-up comedians. Here's the list. Okay. So we have Dave Chappelle. Okay. Louis C.K., Bill Burr, Pete Holmes. Okay. Hannibal Buress, Ori Scovel, Zach Galifianakis, John Mulaney, Anthony Jessic, Aziz Ansari. Hey, Shane is not even among the top 10 comedians. Okay? He's not even 11. All right? Hold on a second. Okay? Hold on. Okay? No, this is not a random list. Look at this. Okay? Look at this. So what? Excuses, excuses. Okay, top 40 stand-up comedians, all right? Boom. Okay. Let's see here. Let's get a more current one. Let's see, 2025. Okay. The ranker. Okay, here we go. All right. Ricky Gervais. Okay. That guy was on Magnum PI. This is Dave Chappelle is number one. Who else? Bill Burr is number two. Wait. Nagit Barzeh is number three. Ricky Gervais is number four. What else here? Mark Nomad is number five. Chris Rock is number six. Louis C.K., who's truly funny, is number seven. Johnny Mulaney is number eight. Tom Segura is number nine. Jim Gaffigan is number 10. What else? Loading the list. Okay, that's modern, folks. Look, loading the list. Okay, that's modern. He's not in the top 10, folks. Sorry. Okay. Funniest right now. Okay. 8.5 billion. That is not my bank account. Okay, so Cat Williams is number 11. Theo Vaughn is number 12. Okay. I still don't see Shane. Okay. Now I want him to be there just for the ESPYs. 13 is Jimmy Carr. Hold on a second. All right. Norm McDonald. Oops, excuse me. Trying to get rid of that. Norm McDonald is 14 and he's passed on. Okay. Keegan Michael Key is 15. No, Dave Attell is 16. Gabriel Iglesias is 17. Anthony Jeselnik is 18. Let's see here. Andrew Santanio is 20. And Samarel is 19. Okay, so look. He's not in the top 20, folks. The ESPY's got a comedian who isn't even among the top 20 available. Wow. Well, okay, except Norm McDonald should be on the list because Norm McDonald's dead. Okay. Let's see here. Well, okay, folks, it's been fun. Seriously, it has. Live long and prosper, please. And thank you for the time that you spent and the commentary. And I'll be back. See you all later. And have a great weekend, folks. And please remember something. The city of Oakland should have 3 pro sports teams: NFL, Major League Baseball, and NBA. Only government ignorance has allowed what happened to Oakland to happen. That is a fact. And make jokes about that. In fact, maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll make economic development humor. Yeah, I think I'll do that. All right. Colin, thank you for your contributions. Ciao. No, I'm not smoking any weed. No wonder your IQ's so low. Give me a break, man. Come on. Get out of here. Goodbye. No, seriously. Thank you, everybody, for coming. I disagree with you regarding Shane, and the numbers prove it. He is not among the top 20. Bye. That's Mr. Weird to you. See you later.